Hello and welcome to News from the Streets, a podcast brought to you by SALV International. SALV stands for Support and Love via Education. We believe there should be no street called home, that no child should have to live or work on the streets to survive. We work in Uganda to support street-connected children and their families to have a brighter future. We believe every child has potential. We hope you enjoy this podcast and listening to some of the stories and solutions around homelessness. Please note that some of the content you may hear in this podcast could be distressing. Also, all of the young people and their family members who have chosen to take part in this podcast have consented to share these stories with you. However, they have also changed their names to help to ensure that they remain protected and anonymous.
Hello everyone, you are welcome to this podcast entitled How Permaculture Will Help Me to Settle at Home. My name is Kawalia Enoch, working with SALV International as the permaculture teacher. Permaculture is a good system of farming which we include in our education syllabus at SALV Land. We are going to have a friend of ours known as Mugaga Abdul Karim, who is going to share with us about how the journey of permaculture has greatly inspired his life and is going to have his life changed forever. Please join us and listen to this podcast, and I know that you will be inspired too, like Mugaga has been. How are you, Mugaga?
I am good.
Okay, you're welcome to this podcast. I want you to share with us about your experience in studying permaculture at SALV Land. What do you understand by the term permaculture?
Permaculture is a suitable system of farming that involves a conscious approach through designing, understanding, and working with instead of working against the environment for production.
Okay, and maybe to ask also, what are the main differences between permaculture and other farming systems? And why do you think permaculture is important?
The main difference is that permaculture takes a complete understanding and mapping, while the other farming methods do not. Permaculture is important because it ensures that young people will find the productive resources in a good shape.
All right. And can you please share some of the skills that you have learned during permaculture lessons at SALV Land?
I have learned skills such as grafting, where woody plants are joined together to produce superior plants. I have also learned organic manure preparation and use. I have learned drawing maps and design for a given piece of land.
All right. If I may ask also, which lesson topic has greatly inspired your love for permaculture?
The topic that has inspired me most is grafting. It shows how easy it is for one to get a superior crop without using much money. It also helps farmers to get many quality crops.
Okay. And so, can you please give a short description of your home setting and the changes that can be made there while following permaculture designing principles? Can you explain to us how your home looks like and how you are going to use the skills you have learned to make some good changes in your land?
Our our home setting is in a rural area. We practice the growing of crops like sweet potatoes, maize, vegetable crops like eggplants, tomatoes, and many more. Our piece of land is small, but very near our home. Most of the food produced is for eating at home.
Okay, thanks for sharing. And how will permaculture help you to stay home when you get resettled?
When I get resettled, I would spend my time practicing the skills I have learned in the garden and around the home. This will help me to avoid thinking about leaving the home.
Okay. What you mean, maybe leaving the home, you didn't have enough things to do at home then?
Yes, I had know what to do, but now I would practice permaculture.
Okay, thank you. How do you hope to ensure your new permaculture skills are shared in your community? Because in permaculture we share and we don't keep knowledge and skills to ourselves. So how do you intend to have your skills shared in your community?
I will share my skills through organizing my community members to demonstrate skills in their gardens and also from my home garden.
Okay. And apart from gardening, because I know permaculture does not mean gardening alone. Which other permaculture skills have you learned? Are there any?
Yes, apart from gardening, I have learned home hygiene, making of organic manure, compound management, and many others.
All right. How have the skills you have learned changed your life, or how will they change your life in the future?
My life has been changed in that I never thought of living on the street or using drugs, but now I only think about making our land very productive.
All right. And maybe lastly, how can permaculture principles help communities to develop?
Communities can develop by access to enough food, getting money after selling quality food. Working together can also help communities to develop as practiced in permaculture.
Okay, thank you so much, Mugaga Abdul Karim, for sharing with us about your permaculture experience at Southland.
You are welcome.
And thank you everyone for listening to us in this podcast. We believe you have been inspired by Mugaga's story. And until next time.
Thank you for listening to our podcast, News from the Streets. We really hope that you enjoyed it. If this podcast has inspired you to want to learn more and to get involved in our global community of people who believe, as we do, that there should be no street called home for children living and working on the streets and that they deserve a brighter future, then please check out our website, www.salvinternational.org. We would love to hear from you and for you to get involved.